Alright guys, we got an Italian classic here today. We're going to be making eggplant. We're going to make it keto style. But we're not just going to make it keto style for the advantage of going low carb. There's a whole host of other chemicals and inferior ingredients that go into the normal preparation of this dish, which I will highlight here. But I just put this short video together so you can understand exactly how you can do this and still enjoy a great Italian classic without, putting your health at risk. All right, and if you're a die-hard Italian, there's certain types of brands that you use for cheeses and crushed tomatoes and all that type of stuff. You can substitute those. But I will explain the ingredients that are a must to keep this a healthy dish. All right, guys, so let's dig into the ingredients. So you're going to need eggplant, almond flour, eggs, coconut oil, we'll call it the cheese, mozzarella, salt and pepper, Italian spices, and crushed tomatoes. So quick disclaimer, this video is not about how to make a pasta sauce, so if you have your own recipe you can use that, or if you want to use jarred, which I don't recommend, but if you use jarred, find a good organic brand that you can use to put into that position there for the sauce. Alright, as far as the coconut oil, you notice there's no olive oil here, there's no grapeseed oils, no vegetable oil. I want you to do the frying in coconut oil if possible, or even in avocado oil. Something that is a saturated fat that is going to not break down when you do the heating or the frying of the eggplant. All right, so when the oil is not stable, so polyunsaturated fats like a vegetable oil or a monosaturated fat like an olive oil will break down very quickly in heat, and all sorts of free radicals are going to be released into the food. Oxidation, you don't want anything oxidized going into your body. All right, so that's the huge reason why you want to use a good stable oil like a coconut oil or a avocado oil or something like that. Now, I know if you're die-hard Italian, that's just like a killer to you, but if you are going to use the olive oil, what I'm going to tell you, and anytime that you're frying, you should be, cooking at very, very low temperatures. You do not fry at high heat. You want to fry below medium. Somewhere in between low and medium, that would be a great place to be frying, just so you don't destroy the oil that much. But if you can, use that coconut oil. All right, guys, so that's it for the ingredients. Now I'm going to show you how we're going to put all this together. All right, guys, so before we get into putting all this together, I did want to mention, as I did at the top of this video, why I recommend making a keto eggplant. And it's not just for the carb factor and try and have a low-carb dish, but there's also many other inferior ingredients that go into making this dish traditionally. And Progresso breadcrumbs or Vigo or whatever breadcrumbs you're using have a whole host of nasty, nasty ingredients in there. And if you're someone that is Italian and this is a staple of your, weekly routine that you're having these breadcrumbs, I highly recommend trying to switch over to almond flour and getting this out of your diet, because the list, I had actually made 2 slides here for the ingredients that are in breadcrumbs. But quickly to go through some of them, obviously it's enriched flour, which is going to turn to sugar. You got high fructose corn syrup, you got vegetable oil, you got soybean oil, you got cottonseed oil, canola oil. I mean, all terrible, terrible oxidating oils that are going to be in there, hard on the liver, free radicals, oxidative properties that are going to just tear you up on the inside of your liver and all that. So over time, that's not a good thing. You got yeast in there. Often yeast is another name for MSG. You got gluten there. You got wheat in there. You got soy in there. There's a whole bunch. You got corn in there. All right. So lots and lots of really bad stuff in there. So now we're going to switch over to the second part of this label here, and I'll show you a few other things. So what else do we got in here? Again, yeast nutrients. Again, probably MSG in there. All right. You got preservatives in there. And then you got the big warning on there, obviously, that says contains wheat. You do not want wheat. All right, that is a inflammatory on your gut. Same with gluten, very, very bad. You got soy in there, highly estrogenic, guys. That can create tumors and cysts and all that type of stuff. So the ingredients are just terrible in this. All right, now we got that out of the way. Let's get into how we're going to put this thing together. And here we're looking at how I prepare the eggplant before I go ahead and slice it up. So it could be to your preference, guys. If you want to keep all the skin on, you can. If you don't, that's fine. You can take it all off. I like to have some on and some off. I just cut off the tops and bottoms of the eggplant just so I can stand them up in this fashion because what we're going to do is we're going to slice these in a certain way, and I'm going to show you how to do that right here in the next slide. And I like to cut long strips right from the top of the eggplant down as they're standing up, all right? And this is going to allow me to, load them up and roll them up. So kind of like an eggplant rollatini is what we're going to be making, but just slice them up and don't go too thick. You don't want them to be half-inch thick. I like them a little bit thinner than that. They cook a little better for me to get them a little bit crispy. So just cut them about a quarter-inch thick or something like that. All right, let's get into the next part of the preparation. Okay, so now you want to get set up for the egging and the actual breadcrumbing, or the almond flour crumbing, of the eggplant. So get yourself a nice container for the eggs that is elongated like this, because it's a certain technique I use, especially when using almond flour. A lot of people complain about the almond flour falling off of the eggplant during the frying process. I'm going to show you how you can avoid a lot of that from happening. And then same for the breadcrumbs or the almond flour dish there. Make sure it's an elongated so you have plenty of room that you're working within. And also you can see I've already added my spices into the almond flour. So remember, we just talked about the breadcrumbs. They have all that crap in there. We're going to put our own spices in: salt, pepper, Italian spices. Dump that into the breadcrumbs or the almond flour. Mix there and then stir it around so it's evenly dispersed. And then we can get started on putting the breading onto the eggplant, which I'm going to show you in this short video to come. Alright, place the eggplant in the egg batter, and then, very important, take your fingertips, as you see me doing here, and make little dents in the eggplant, okay? This is going to allow for better sticking of the almond flour and less of it falling off while you're frying. And then put it in the almond flour, same thing with your fingertips, tap it down, and then the almond flour will stick in those little divots that you're putting into the almond flour. Then you can put that right into your frying pan and get going. Now that you have everything in the frying pan, again, making sure we're cooking at a lower temperature, just below medium will be a great temperature to be cooking this at. And then you want to wait until they get just golden brown. If you like them a little crispier, let them stay in slightly longer. But that's about it. Flip them over on the other side, fry them up on that side, and then take them off and on the side, put them on a dish, stack them up, and we'll get ready to put them together. So for the next step in the process here, what you're going to need is get a large flat pan that's going to go in the oven. Get your cheese, your ricotta ready, make sure you have your sauce ready, and the stack of eggplant that you just fried, so we can start putting this thing together and getting it ready to go into the oven. Alright, so what I like to do is I like to start with putting some pasta sauce down on the bottom of the pan as an anti-stick, basically. That's all I do it for. So put that on there, and then take a piece of eggplant, put some sauce right on top of it, put a dab of ricotta cheese, and then put in some mozzarella as well, as we're going to be going to roll these up and stacking them up across the tray. Alright, now that we got our tray all stacked up, get a piece of tin foil, cover it up, put it in the oven. I have the oven preheated to 400 degrees, and I usually like to start with 20 minutes. After the 20 minutes, I will take the tin foil off, put it back in for another 5, 10, 15 minutes, just to get it a bit crispy on the top. Alright guys, there you have it. That's exactly how you can make this Italian classic and not have it detract from your health. You can have this all you want, guilt-free. It's very, very low carb, and as we mentioned, all the chemicals won't be in there, all the free radicals won't be in there, using good, healthy oils, and that's how you can do this in a very, very healthy fashion and enjoy it. Alright, so just on the side note, I do like to serve this with a little extra pasta sauce on the side so people can put the sauce on top if they so choose. But that's it, guys. Let me know how you enjoyed the video. Let me know how you enjoyed the eggplant. Good luck with this. Enjoy.